What's good? What's poppin'? You already know what it is. Welcome to the Unknowns podcast. It's your girl, Shady Cartier. And who else?
It's John Cena. No, I'm kidding. It's Mobius. What's up?
Yeah, Shenanigans. That's who you in the house with tonight. What's good? I don't know where you at right now. I don't know how you made it to this mother flipping podcast. But thank you for joining us. If you vibe with us, definitely send it out to somebody, share it with somebody, let them know. You know we new to the game. This only episode 14. Wow.
We are here. It is the second week in December, and
He always snitching, bro.
I mean, no, because I always say we record these out of date when we post them. All the episodes are out of order. That's the running joke. So whatever.
Snitching. Anyway,
we all caught up. You know, the last time we was here. This is a mini episode, by the way. The last time we did that was probably the second day of the elections we did. So that was episode 1.5 and then 2.5 or whatever. However we broke it down. So here we are, kind of recapping for everything that happened between then and now. You know, we still got some episodes coming up. We still got some guests. It's still, and then a Christmas special that's going to come out.
The fuck Christmas special.
The fuck Christmas special for all you non-pagan.
Xmas.
So yeah, here we are, the second week in December, and we're just going to get into it. Let's see. So
A lot's going on.
Yeah.
But in the spirit of our first episode, shout out to anybody who's listening, who's been banging with us from the first episode. You already know, Unknowns podcast. Hit us on the Instagram, unknowns. Instead of an S, it's a 5. Instead of an O, it's a 0. If you've been with us since the beginning, you know our first episode was on gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even go all the way deep into the rabbit hole. I just touched the mother flipping surface of the rabbit hole on that episode. But that's what it was. It was the first episode, and it was something that we're both very, very passionate about. I'm about to kick Mobius and his nuts right now on some COD. But anyway, I'm trying not to stab him and murder him on the podcast. It is December, and Krampus made me do it if anybody asks.
We keeping it light. We got some gaming news for you.
Yeah, that's not keeping it light. That is the best if you're a gamer, Joe.
It's not light depending on how big and how long you've been waiting for this one game that just came out. It is Cyberpunk 2077. The game was announced almost 10 years ago. It is finally out after many delays. So if you're just joining us, you will probably see this at the hype of launch. We're recording this at the hype of launch, which means you know what day it is.
It's a lot of mixed feelings.
It's a lot of mixed feelings. Yeah, so CD Projekt Red made it so that you couldn't check it out on previous gen consoles. So if you're playing on the PS4 and Xbox One, it's gonna look crappy. It's gonna run sluggish, but it will run. If you're playing on the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, it'll look better. And it will still run, but of course, the only real way to play it is PC. I say that like I have a PC, which I don't, but it's out. I will say I wasn't into it as hard as everybody else was, and so some of the somewhat game-breaking issues that some of you might be experiencing, just hang in there. A lot of people said it ultimately didn't affect their gaming experience enough to say that they regretted buying it. But there are some issues. There will be some things that you have to work on and consider when you purchase this game. I'm gonna wait, let them work this stuff out. It's the reason they got delayed so many times. So to not talk about this game for too long, because there are other games that we got to talk about.
I was about to say, is it a GTA situation where the person who created this game is dead now?
No.
Because you talking about 10 years, bro. Listen, I'm not trying to get
delays.
To the history of the game. But just mad delays. Anyway, Fuck that. I didn't even want to talk about 2077. That's all he cares about.
Okay.
All I care about is motherfucking data dying.
Yeah. Okay.
Data dying is back. First of all, we touched on this on our first
This was
episode.
just announced either yesterday or today. So
And this
Perfect
is
Dark.
new shit. This is really new
This
shit.
is brand new. This is Perfect Dark.
The official trailer has been announced literally today.
Yeah.
Literally by Xbox today.
Yes.
The official
this is today.
trailer, yeah, Xbox today. Like it's crazy. Like the last game came out in 2000. Perfect Dark. Like get with it.
Nah, because you got Perfect Dark
64.
Zero. Remember?
Perfect. Oh, it came out after.
Yeah.
Oh,
Perfect
okay.
Dark Zero came out on the 360, so that couldn't have been any earlier than like 2005, 6. I think it was.
No, that's what they got right here. This Perfect Dark. I don't know which one, but it's
That's the first one. That's the one that came out in N64.
This ain't the one from N64.
That's the photo.
It is,
Yeah, you talking about?
You're right.
Joanna Dark.
Yeah, big shout out to
Elvis.
Rare Gaming. I don't know if that's like the design company or whoever.
I think they're the publisher.
Shout out to Rare. So definitely, man, listen, it's crazy. You know, if you heard the first episode, if you didn't, if you're a gamer, go back and listen to the first episode. Like, real talk, we got into the game, we got into some details about the game. It's a really cool episode, so definitely go back and listen to that. But like, nobody never thought, even just talking about a lot of those games when we was children, like, they're making reboots and they coming back. They're not quite the same, but it's really awesome to see this. I mean, we're talking about like some over 10 years later, to be able to see this game. So that's really cool. So I just wanted to start off with some really cool news, and that just really correlate with like what we've been doing. I mean, I look at it like this: it's 12 months in a year. We've been trying to kick out at least one episode a month. We was grinding really hard the first few months. We started lagging, and lo and behold, we still made it to this point where we have more episodes than the year that we started. And I'm so happy to be at this point, yo. Like, we ain't no professionals. Like, y'all already know it's very candid over here. Like, we just doing what we love, talking about things that we care about, and just being black and sharing it with y'all. So thank y'all for banging with us, you know what I'm saying? Definitely thank you for showing love. And let's get into some more like really cool news. So I just saw this recently. I want to give a shout out. I got a couple stories from Plain Jane YouTube channel about this dude, and I was so surprised when I brought it to Mobius' attention. He was like, "Oh, I'm already hip." So the way the story start is a black man poses a threat with a paper clip and floss. Like, that's like the clickbait. That's the storyline right there to get to on the clickbait. You know what I'm saying? But you know, shout out to Rashad Stanley. Shout out to jail stories. I've been watching a lot of crazy stuff.
Always watching crazy stuff
on the evil ass YouTube application, and watching people cook food in jail is that was oddly entertaining. So anyway, shout out to Rashad Stanley, who came out with a clothing line while he was in jail.
Actually looked pretty cool.
And I mean, and the clothing line looks fly, bro. He literally took everything that they give you, all the material that they give you. I watched the video. He even showed him like the mattresses that they sleep on come in plastic, like whatever the weird plastic is. He took that and used it as a design on the clothes. All I'm saying is, us black people, we are creative. No matter what, you can't hold us down as long as your spirit is in the right place, man. So shout out everybody incarcerated. And we realize we got family in jail right now. So definitely, especially during COVID, shout out everybody that's incarcerated. If you got family that's in jail right now, listen, it's COVID right now. You should be writing a letter to your family member. If you're not working a full-time job and you ain't got no money to send somebody in jail, but you know they in jail, man, write them a letter, send them a letter. It is hard. The struggle is real. People are they're watching each other die from COVID. So there's it's a difference between I'm in jail to serve my time because I did something wrong, and I'm in jail and now I'm about to die from some shit that ain't had nothing to do with why I'm in jail or what I did wrong, or you know what I'm saying? It's just circumstances. So pray for your family in jail. If you can't put no money on their books, man, at the very least you could reach out to them, because they got to keep their mind together while they in that cell. They mind, they spirit, they body, they got to keep that shit together while they in that cell. So when they get out, there's something left to salvage.
On the I guess it's not even related, but it's just like kind of.
It's real life.
Yeah, like just black creativity and stuff. Talking about that, there's a meme going around about the Spider-Man Miles Morales game, and they're talking about just his exaggerated swagger. What you talking about? They're talking about the exaggerated swagger of a black teen, and it's just like it. Even in jail, they're not stopping what they're doing. They still have the ability to express themselves. They still have the ability to enjoy
It's just hard.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
But so what did they do? We can't have no.
Right,
no,
that's why I was about to punch you in your throat.
no boy.
Yeah.
But you went on a rant. I don't want to hear that. You went on a rant. Okay, so what did they do before we celebrate and champion this group of people who did something amazing?
Okay, no, not a group of people. Rashad Stanley. When we previously had this conversation, y'all, I was like, I want to give a shout out to him, and he was like, yeah, definitely. What did he even get locked up in jail for?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's nice that he's doing something creative, but what did he get locked up in jail for? A series of armed robberies. He has a maximum of 20 years.
Pretty serious.
Series of assaults and armed robberies. And in reply, I said, well, at least he didn't kill nobody.
I won't say that because that's not nice. But
we can't be giving no shout outs to no Epsteins.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
That's better. Yeah, much better.
All
okay.
Right. So,
yeah. All right,
so,
you went twice.
Definitely.
Let me go. All right, so keeping in line with some of the gaming news, I only got a couple more, and we're gonna get into some of the realer stuff. The PlayStation has been they've been having a fabulous year with the launch of their new consoles, but if you're a fan, good luck, because there's a scalping group. There's a bunch of different scalping groups all over the world who's snatching up consoles.
Oh yeah.
And reselling them. Everything, like they've been around.
COVID is what happened with the Wii. So now they do it like every time a new system launch, there's a level. But these mofos are like planning it, they're mastering it. Like they saving up $5,000-$6,000 and they like, we gonna shut down the market. Yep. Go ahead.
One group, which you may have heard of, one group in London got they came away with it was 25 or 3,500 PS5s.
What? Sounds crazy.
It's crazy. And they're using bots to do it. There's not really much you can do because it's all just, it's all being done via the bots and stuff.
Numbers.
But now, so there's one group in the U.S. where there's like a subscription, so you pay and they'll teach you how to do it, so you can do it yourself.
Teach you how to do what?
How to set up bots for whatever you want to do.
I want that. I need that.
That is not cool.
Bots.
We can't
That's
be
artificial
friends.
intelligence. That's the future.
You're gonna have bots, but what are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna buy a bunch of shit and resell?
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do the same shit that Google does. I'm gonna buy your information, filter it, and have my bots sell you shit that you don't need. Shout out to Facebook site. Don't shout out to Facebook.
No, we don't.
Like that shit is mad stalkerish.
Okay.
That shit is mad stalkerish.
$1 billion.
Okay.
All right.
So I love bots. I love AI.
So we got the scalpers. It's the same thing with graphics cards. If you're in the PC crowd, actually a buddy of mine who's building a PC, or rather upgrading, he waited in line at a physical store, which was probably like Best Buy or something, to get his hands on the physical card along with like 50 other people. There was all social distance out. He took some photos and was just like, yeah, fuck scalpers, blah. So, kudos to him. He got what he was wanting, and somebody else we know.
Did he get revenge? Wait,
he went and bought it. Like, fuck the scalpers. They're buying up all the inventory online, but not in stores, because you can only do it because you're one person.
You can only buy so much in stores, yeah.
So he managed to get his hands on it. Good for him. The resells are ridiculously expensive, so fuck them scalpers.
Yeah.
So, do you want to go?
Get your money, scalpers. At the end of the day, it's called capitalism.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm not,
you can't get mad at that.
I'm definitely not mad at like one particular person. Like, nah, you.
Nah. So okay.
Good. It'd be like that sometimes.
You took my perfect dark one, so that's all I've got for gaming. I guess you want to go next, or want me to continue?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so it's the 10th. It's not a secret anymore. Pearl Harbor, World War II, December 7th, 1941. That was, it was the anniversary of that. So just quietly acknowledging that, just like we did on 9/11. It happened. We're all American. So, to those who are still alive, who had served during World War II, thank you for your service.
Woohoo!
And unlike 9/11, which is much more divisive and leads to divisive. English? Tomato? I don't know. I can't English.
Indivisible for justice for
all. Which has way more problems with conspiracies and stuff. At least that was, and there are conspiracies about Pearl Harbor too. Like, did the government actually know or not? At least with that one, we can say, everybody more or less was united around the fact that we got hit and we slapped back, and we came home. We did what we came to do, and we came home. Yay, freedom, all that stuff. Plus, it was, pretty long time ago. There's only so many people alive now who served in World War II, in both the U.S. and British theaters. So, once again, if you're around or you have family who was directly related to any actions involved in World War II, like on my dad's side, my grandpa, he was in, I forgot what theater he was in, probably the European one, but what? No, you talk about me, I will slap. Anyway, I mean, you're not wrong, but no. Okay, so yes, thank you for your service, and never forget Pearl Harbor. Okay, I got more other things, and then we're gonna talk about Trump and all them. So you can go for the next one. What you got?
All right. What else we got, man? What's going on in the world today? People fighting, looting? I don't fucking know, but it really sounds good in my head. Shout out to D12. I don't know what's going on with them, like, at all whatsoever. But that was their song. Like, I was really attempting to, like, get the chorus out. It's crazy shit. I mean, 2020 has been an absolute shit show. I mean, if you haven't been into politics, man, it has been an entertaining show. Shout out to the best entertainer of all times, Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump. I don't know anything about Nipsey, but that's a good song. Fuck Trump.
YG. So, the shit is just hilarious. Now we got Biden. Biden's, he sounded like he about to get a little bit like Trump. He over there making quotes all over the news talking about something. I got the most diverse cabinet we ever had in the world. I mean, I got blacks, whites, Latinos, gays. I got women's. I got trannies. Your man wild as shit. He was stuttering on TV trying to say that shit without, like, offending anybody. Mm-hmm. And so it was absolutely hilarious. At the end of the day, like, all of that sounds good and fine. We'll see how it goes. Shout out to his VP Kamala. She's talking about she gonna have all women on her squad. We gonna keep it real. They gonna be like, probably gonna be super diverse too, but like all women. Like, we don't trust men. Then they shit. That's cool.
She didn't say any of that, but she giving women their chance to show what the world can do. First black VP, first woman VP. Shaking the whole game up.
Yeah, buddy. So, big shout outs, and I guess let's just see how that goes. To me, very naturally, the next subject is COVIDiana. COVID.
Yeah, I guess we could, because you got
anything political to add?
It's kind of political, I guess, on the good news sort of side of things. So the first black Secretary of Defense has been named. It's supposed to be SecDef Lloyd Austin. There's some concerns that he doesn't have the experience that would be necessary, but I'm not in the military. I can't really speculate on anything, so that's neither here nor there. But he's the first black one, so let's give him a shot. Congrats to SecDef Austin Lloyd. And what else? Okay, what else you got?
For politics, that's all I got.
All right. This isn't political, but it's still in the realm of what I've been talking about for the past couple minutes. Actually, I'll come back around because this is like one of those clusterfucky ones. So we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about... Oh, all right. So still kind of sad, but Tom Lister, Tiny, I don't know, best known as Debo from the Friday series. He died at age 62.
Man, rest in peace, man.
I'm still trying to figure out what was the cause, but it's a lot of people are just catching on to it now, it seems, according to Twitter and stuff. So they're probably still figuring it out at the moment. Now, a couple months ago, somebody, or I guess it was last month now, somebody said that he died, and that turned out to be false.
Oh, hoax. Oh, my goodness. That's the worst.
But,
and then you actually die.
Yeah. So in this case, it's all over Twitter. It's all over Google. It's on Wikipedia. He passed away. Rest in peace, Debo. You definitely had a big part of our childhood growing up.
A lot of people.
A lot of
people's life, man.
Yeah.
So like I said, earlier when I spread the news to, I guess the only person I've spread the news to, I said, you know what? For the rest of the year, you gotta threaten to take people's chain. That's you know what I'm saying. Shout out to the creators of Friday. Shout out to the writers who and the casting director who chose this legendary individual to play that role.
Pretty much everybody in Friday is legendary at this point.
I mean, pretty much that it's a cult. They got a cult following.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Black people doing their thing and just. I'm not really one to praise people in the industry. I'm more about looking at it like everybody's a human. Everybody got family. Everybody make mistakes. But at the end of the day, you made somebody laugh. You made somebody giggle. I could give you props for that, especially if that's what you lived your life doing. So, definitely rest in peace and shout out to his family, everybody.
Got one. So a couple days ago, China landed on the moon at the same time. SpaceX launched another rocket, which exploded, but, I mean, they're happy for some reason, so good for them. So China's on the moon, which means the Space Force, the U.S. Space Force, is suddenly more relevant instantly just because we have our flight. Supposedly, depending on how you feel about moon landings, the original and, subsequent landings.
Flat Earth!
That threw me off. But okay, so depending on how you feel about all of that, the moon is American. We got there first. Space is
the moon is American.
The moon is American.
It doesn't work that way.
We got there first. And China's up there, and they're putting their boots all over it. So
we gonna sue China
because of peace and space and non-boundaries and stuff. I'm going to say congrats to the space program of China because it's it's exploration.
I don't care. Even if we were beefing with China, congratulations, China, because it's not about none of that shit. It's about humanity.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I get you, but I'm saying
that's what you're saying. No matter what.
No matter what, like fuck anybody talking about anything else. Like Russia really got there first. Like
Russia got to space first. We got to the moon first, and then. What else happened?
I don't give a fuck.
And then now they're like,
I don't give a fuck.
Elon Musk's going to Mars. Woo! Anyway.
If it wasn't for the brown scientists, they wouldn't have made it nowhere. So I don't give a fuck about none of that. Did you have anything else to add? Because I feel like that segues to the very funny thing we heard earlier about Dr. Fauci saying congratulations.
Okay, so that's for you.
To the Black woman.
That's you.
That helped create the COVID vaccine.
That is all you.
That was so hilarious. Again, shout out to the Plainest Jane YouTuber, bruh. Like, that shit was so fucking hilarious the way she put that shit. She was like, yeah, okay. Don't be trying to be like, oh, yeah, Black people, thanks for your contribution to this vaccine. And then in a few months, it's going to be like, oh, shit, the vaccine is killing people.
Broke.
This was a bad choice.
This was a mistake.
The vaccine is killing people.
What's that, Jane? The Crippen virus from I Am Legend. Oops. It's like replacing a bad driver with a really good driver. We like Cantor. It works. Yay! 3 years later. Everybody's all fucked up.
Zombies.
So, let's not have any of that.
I don't want none of that. I don't want us to be held responsible for that shit. Just like Plain Jane said.
To play devil's advocate, there will be people who will say, no, you can't have it both ways. You get the successes and you get the failures.
I know.
But to them, I say, yes, you are right. But in normal circumstances, if things go if they go just really good, you know, they'll credit the team, you know, as opposed to whoever's like the project lead or whatever. Exactly. Versus if it goes terribly wrong, almost the entire blame is going to be based on her findings, her research, and things that like, it was her fault. It was
Our concern is the scapegoat. I was about to say scapegoatism. Hold on, my brain farted.
That works.
I was about to say
scapegoatisms because that's what I was thinking it, and I wasn't even looking at you. You didn't mouth it, but that's what my brain wrote. Scapegoatisms. We're American out here, y'all. We talk in ebonics and slang and
we make it up as we go.
Generalizations.
You know what America's about. If you're outside of America, shout out to you.
We like you. Thanks for.
We love you. Please send us a plane ticket so we can
come hang out with y'all because this is
getting out of hand over here.
Let us hang out with you when your country lets us.
Dang, no bullshit. When we can get back in, I don't know what's Biden gonna do. What's Biden gonna do? So now that we're on the topic of the vaccine, what's up with COVID news? So they said they deployed, like he said, we in the second week of December. They said they already deployed the vaccine. They said they're going to make sure that they get it to the healthcare workers.
First responders.
First responders. They're definitely important. They need to get taken care of. But it's two sides to that coin. Like you already know, the first 1 million, 2 million, 3 million people that take the vaccine are literally going to be guinea pigs and test dummies. And so is it smart to allow the first responders to be guinea pigs and test dummies? I don't think so, and that's why you have to volunteer to take the vaccine outside of the places where they haven't become mandatory yet for first responders, but there's a lot of speculation that in the next couple months that is going to be the case. And so I'm concerned about a few things like forced vaccination for traveling out of the country, forced vaccination for children going to school. Like, I'm very concerned about these things. And just to make sure that we're clear, because I've had this conversation with a few people, I did go to pharmacy school. That is some type of freaking medical school. But I still don't, my findings are not based on the education. It's literally based on the interactions that I've had with doctors and nurses throughout my entire life on this earth. And so what I was told in regard to the flu vaccine that I was forced to take several years while I was growing up, and every single year I got a really bad flu virus. I'm talking about, excuse me, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I was throwing up my insides. Like, it was really crazy. And so being forced to get a vaccination, experiencing that, and then talking to, then going to medical school, and then talking to different doctors, primary care doctors, oncologists, just a lot of different physicians, talking to all these people. Basically what I found out is that obviously it's not a cure-all. No matter what vaccine it is, whether it's the flu vaccine, the COVID vaccine, whatever it is. I mean, if you ain't already have it in your body, we're putting it in your body, and we want you to believe this is going to save you and it's going to help you, it's going to make you better. So I can't. I've been told specifically by doctors and nurses, don't get the flu vaccine. Don't get it. I don't get it. I will quit my job today. The nurse said to me this year, I will quit my job today if they try to force me to get the flu vaccine. And of course, this is in the midst of the COVID situation. And then we were like, well, what about the COVID vaccine? Vaseline. What about the COVID Vaseline? That's exactly what it's gonna do. You're gonna rub it on yourself, and your shit's still gonna be fucked up.
So let me ask this: when you got the flu shots, because I think I remember getting them, but how old were you? And does it really make a difference between you having to get it because you're a kid and you might be put in environments where you're more at risk than others, or, as an adult where you can have the choice.
Well, I was in high school. I very rarely went to the doctor, so it was one of those situations where I went to get a physical, and they made me get it. They see it in your system that you haven't got it, whatever the case is. I got sick really badly that year and the years after. I never went and got that shit again.
Right.
But I was definitely like under 15 years old. As far as like having choices. Yeah, you're an adult, you got a choice. But when I went to medical school, we didn't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
We had to get flu, we had to get tetanus, we had to get I think the tetanus shots like every year. You're not, certain shots you're not supposed to get until like every 4 years, 5 years, 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
All these different things, and they would literally make you get the shots every year, and that shit is mad dangerous because your body is supposed to help you. It's supposed to do its part. And when you're constantly shooting yourself up with chemicals, and again, I understand hospitals are extremely dangerous places. You could go in for one thing and you come out with the staphylococcus and your ass is dead.
That's a real thing, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, staph infections.
Yeah.
And so it's just like...
Remember when that was a thing?
Oh, gosh. Remember when it was? Right, now it's freaking COVID. I mean, but that's another thing. Like, that was the big scare about, like, do I have COVID? Should I be going to the doctor to get tested if it's the hospital's full of people who are dying from COVID?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this shit is fucking retarded. Like, hospital error, man. The number one cause of death in the United States. Hospital error.
I thought it was car accidents.
It might be COVID now. No.
Oh, medically
That's crazy.
related.
They lied. Yeah, no. I mean, the number one cause of death, not even medically related, over everything
Is malpractice?
I guess you could call it malpractice, but it's called hospital error. So whether it's the doctor, whether it's the nurse, whether I diagnosed you wrong, whether I did surgery and left something inside of you, like it covers the full range and gambit of bullshit that happens, because when you go into a hospital, you're really putting your life in the hands of 100, like, what's the staff of a hospital? 1,000 different people.
Mm-hmm.
It's, so it's just all very sick. It's all very crazy. I'm black. You black. You might be brown. Like the plain as Jane said, I'm going to go ahead and watch y'all take the vaccine.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to keep watching. You got me fucked up.
Let me know how that work out for you.
Let me know how that work out. And get back to me on that. Like, I ain't with it. I ain't with it at all. I don't support it. And then my only funny story was, so somebody posted on one of my favorite, very super sketchy social media apps. It's a meme app. I love it. Somebody posted on there, I'm a first responder and I signed up for the vaccination when it becomes available. Mm. And I sent them a meme with Dom from Fast and the Furious. What's his name? The white
Diesel.
guy. No, it was the white guy. The guy that died.
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker, the most awesome white guy ever. With Vin Diesel and Paul Walker, that joke was like, rest in peace.
Rip.
And so, I know that's not funny, and that's like probably super mean.
Pretty morbid, but
I just,
well
I just want them to think twice about it. Like, I really do cherish your life, first responders. And so, I mean, I guess it's like the police and it's like the military. You got the right to put your life on the line for others, and that's what you want to do. Okay, that's fine. And that's what I feel like that's what you're really doing. Like, to me, it's not so much about protecting yourself because you're one of the first people to test these drugs out. You playing yourself.
Well, in the case of the at least with first responders and law enforcement, they have a choice. Military, you really don't.
Yeah, they do anything to your ass. They give you all types of experimental shit and say you ain't had no fucking choice, and you be fucked up.
You don't. Dishonorable discharge.
And then they be like, oh, go to the VA. Alright, so what else we got? Anything else health related? Life or death related? I got a lot of dead people.
No.
I got a lot of dead people.
No. I mean, death maybe, but I mean,
What kind of death you got going?
Maybe it's still regarding the military thing I was talking about, so I'll come back to that.
Okay, because I'm about to get into the cop.
Yeah, go
And
for
his
it.
wife. All right. So I want to say rest in peace to a Timothy Francis, his family and his friends. All of their family and their friends, their kids, everything. They lost 2 people. Not only his white wife that murdered him, but him as well. And so they got family on both sides. I can't really say too much. It's just extremely unfortunate. MPD Detective Timothy Francis was tragically shot and killed in a domestic related homicide. The suspect was also found deceased. Obviously, it was a murder-suicide. It's very unfortunate. The wife posted a note on Facebook before she took the life of her husband and then took the life of herself. And so, I just want to say a few things. This love shit has been out of hand since the beginning of time.
Yep.
But definitely, I think our emotions is something that we need to keep under control. And so, what I've been seeing in a lot of stories in relation to Black people is the constant conversation of mental health. And so, I just want to give her a little bit of doubt and just kind of bring that up. Whether it's you or your family members or somebody that being over emotional, having the characteristics of losing control, making rash decisions, not really having a care for life or death. These things are definitely things you need to pay attention. You need to worry about. You need to be concerned about the people that's in your circle, the people that's around you, the people that's in your life. Like, you got to be really careful. And you got to pay attention to your mental health and their mental health as well. Because you never know. You think you just love this person or you so in love or you like this person so much. You never know what happened. I mean, it's not just like when I was growing up, it was like, oh, don't date gangsters and don't date cops because don't date gangsters and don't date dudes that's in the military. Because they're possessive and they're murderous. Like, what you gonna say? Like, the same shit that attract you to their ass will be the shit that kill you in a relationship. And so at the end of the day, we got to stop using labels when it's really about characteristics. We got to stop using man and woman when it's really about characteristics. We got to stop using people's religion for excuses.
Yep.
You got to stop using people's races as excuses, or white people only do this, or black people don't do that. Nope. Yeah, whatever. None of that fucking matters. A human is a human, and we all have flaws. And so, no matter how much you love somebody and how long you've been loving them, you don't know what's really going on in their mind. You don't know if they really psychotic for real. You don't know how possessive they really are. There's a lot of extremes, and that's why they say no matter how long you know somebody, you really don't. You could be married to somebody for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. They say some of the best serial killers in the world got whole families, got whole kids, and they don't even know. And I tell you, if you ain't never seen that HBO show Dexter, no shout out to HBO and no shout out to like murderers and killers.
Pay this man Dave Chappelle.
Even though he did kind of justify it in the very fucking coolest way.
Ooh, Dexter.
That shit, like that shit was lit, but that shit is still unacceptable.
Oh yeah, murder.
You not the judge and the jury. You know what I'm saying? And so, there's only one judge out here. I don't bang with any human judges.
Judge
period.
Joe Brown.
But we not gonna. Oh, this ain't going anything. We not gonna get into that. Anyway, just watch it back. Be real careful. You already know what it is. We 38 minutes into the hour. You gonna get into the military thing, or we gonna do the poem and come back?
So
let's get all the any more negative or bad stuff out the way.
All right. So at 29 pounds, there's this is a lot. I'm gonna have to read it. The abridged version comes from the Marine Corps Times. And let me pull it up. The headline is "The Grinch at 29 Palms. Marines claim excessive duty is forcing them to stay on base during the holidays." Basically, there was a fight or some sort of incident on base, and they're Marines. Like, what are you gonna do? But the command staff was not happy about that, and they're making it so that the Marines can't leave. Some of them which are coming back from tour, some of them which, they have essential jobs, and so they had to stay, over on base or do tours or whatever they have to do during their jobs. They had to stay. So some of these guys haven't seen their families in a considerable amount of time. Some people had been, out of rotation or whatever, redeployed. And so
neglected, it sounds like.
It's neglected. And then, okay, so all that, right? That's normal military stuff. Our military is overworked. There's so many critical areas where people are they're having to stay and do double tours, triple tours, or whatever, because there's no one to fill their job role anymore. This is pilots, this is mechanics, infantry not so much, but people aren't joining the military like they used to. So all this stuff's happening, and then COVID, which means that the people who would finally get to come home after all this stuff, Trump announced that we're going to be doing a troop drawdown again. The Pentagon, of course, said they don't really have a plan for it, but it is
sure.
It is what it is. They'll eventually figure it out. Cool. So, but no, now they can't because COVID. So all the people who would have and this is including trainees who just enlisted, all the people that would have been able to go home and do all the things, they can't because now they're restricted to base. They can't leave. And so, for health risks and all that fun stuff, which is okay, fine, that makes sense. National security, defense, all that. You don't want to spread. Okay, Marines are people in the military are stupid. They're not going to follow 6 feet protocol. Fine, I get that. But to do that and then to not take care of them and their needs, their basic needs, and then to say no, you can't go home. Everybody gets punished. I think it's all of 2-7, not just the particular battalion or whatever organization is related to that fight. No, all of 2-7 can't leave, and so this means all the supervisors, all the higher ups that had nothing to do with it, different battalions, different companies, they're stuck too, and so there's talk of suicide watches going up and depression and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Because you're talking about people who haven't seen their families in a year or two.
Well, what did the Marines do?
It was a fight.
No, what does the Marines do? That's not under the water people, right?
No, that's the Navy.
That's the Navy SEALs. So what do the Marines do?
The Marines. So it's Army is the big Army. They're the big infantry focus. They're the tanks, helicopters, land. The Navy is the naval aspect of and somewhat Air Force because they have their own aircraft. The naval aspect of the military, they handle all sea operations from maritime to patrols to Coast Guard and stuff like that. Coast Guard is its own separate force, but it's still naval capabilities and stuff. Then you have the Air Force, commonly known as the Chair Force. They handle all airborne operations. They used to be a part of the Army. Back in World War II, it was the Army Air Force. They handle all air-related logistical stuff. They have their own and rescue operations and stuff, and then you have the Marines, which is the armed infantry aspect focused component of the Navy. So the Navy drops off the Marines handle the business. They're generally seen as the first in to fight. They can be anywhere in the world, along with the Rangers with this Army. They can be anywhere in the world within 70 hours. So
at sea and land and in the air. Yeah,
talking about the SEALs or the Marines?
No, the Marines.
Yeah. They have
sea,
aircraft.
Land, air. They doing everything.
They're changing their focus to sort of be smaller, more agile to compete with our near peer adversaries, China, Russia. But they, so they're getting rid of their tanks and stuff. But I digress. All this is happening at the same time. The big army's talking about changing calibers. All of the entire military is overworked because they've been at war for 20-something years. And so you have all this happening. Then you got COVID, which means people who were doing deployments and stuff.
It's just escalated.
It's escalated.
The stress, the fear. That shit is just fucked up. The broken promises.
It's many.
Come on. And so, and these are the people that are risking their lives for us. And so I just want to give a shout out to them. Sorry about what's going on. Definitely, me personally, I'm going to be praying for y'all family. Like, that's a lot, because that's the thing about the armed forces. It's not just that one person. They got a whole family, or in a lot of cases, they lose their whole family. Shorty might be cheating. The kids growing up got a new father now. If you was the mother, you done popped the babies out. The father done left. He got a new shorty now. They not even waiting for you to come back. I mean, that's been happening like forever.
Yeah, they're called Jodies.
That shit is fucked up to be in that situation. Like, you risking your life, and they never know whether they're gonna make it home or what they're gonna come home to. And so I want to give
people who don't understand. They're coming home to people who understand, because we've been at war for so long, for over several conflicts, that people, and we've been at war for so long in other parts of the world that we don't even have to remotely look at or pay attention to or know where it is on the map, that people don't understand, because
that's
they go,
a luxury.
Yeah. It's out of sight, out of mind. We've never had to deal with anything except when the British invaded, except when we had the Civil War, which was, brother on brother, and then when Canada burnt down the White House that one time. But anyway, so with that in mind, please remember, it is the holidays coming up, whether you're pagan or not, or whether you believe in it or not. Somebody somewhere is celebrating something. It's been a rough year, so just try to be kind. And then remember, just, if you know any veterans, don't ask them like, "Oh, who'd you kill?" Blah blah. Just, "Hey, how you doing, man? How are you?"
First of all, who asks questions
people,
like that?
Fucking stupid people.
I'm with that shit. I'm with that shit. So, did you kill anyone famous or important, or really?
How did it feel?
Did you kill the Joker?
What kind of gun is that? No. Okay,
did
fuck
you. Did you kill the Joker? Whatever. You're saying practice sensitivity.
Which I guess that we kind of wanted to touch on that, since it's not
we didn't really have a whole background for it. Practice sensitivity. I mean, with everybody though, like it's not. Stop being so fucking self-centered, bro. Not everybody celebrate Christmas. Not everybody celebrate Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Not everybody is into the shit that you're into.
Yep.
And so one thing people don't do is test the waters in conversations before they do shit. I mean, a lot of people do, and they're like the most manipulative people. But if you want to just genuinely be a good person, just be careful, man. Just be careful. Like, some shit ain't even worth it, bro. Like, I don't care whether you voted for Trump or not. That doesn't mean, like, I can't fuck with you in real life.
Which a lot of people feel like that
now. If aliens came down here right now, would I be like, nah, fuck him, lock him outside, we gonna stay in the house, let the aliens eat him, he a Trump supporter? You a petty motherfucker if that's how you bang. The person that you need to leave outside is pedophiles. So that leads me to my final negative story. Go ahead.
Well, you said Kwanzaa, so just real quick. So she said Kwanzaa, so real quick for anybody who celebrates. Kwanzaa is December 26th through January 1st. That's Saturday, December 26th, all the way through Friday, to January 1st, 2021. Yay, whole new year, all this stuff. I don't participate, but I wanted to bring that up in case anybody cared.
It's not even the right special to bring that up. Anyway,
yeah, it's holiday, so non-denomination.
No, he's fired. Mobius is fired. Somebody shoot Mobius in his kneecaps. Like I said, wow, throwing fruit snacks. All right. Like I was saying, y'all, my little fake ass segue. The people y'all should really be mad at are people like Maria Scott, a former teaching aide who has been indicted on charges of 2 acts of third-degree unlawful transaction with a minor and prohibited use of electronic communication to procure a minor. That's absolutely disgusting. Scott was a teacher's aide in the school of Russell, Kentucky, and the alleged relationship was going on for about a year. I mean, you need to pay attention to your kids, first of all. One of the most important things to point out about pedophilia, period, and in this particular case, okay, Scott is being accused of also helping get the students alcohol and vape materials. She's 29 years old and has been in the news before because of her disability of being born without arms or legs because of a disorder called tetraamelia. So I just want to say a few things. Just because someone's handicapped doesn't mean that they're stupid or dumb, and that they can't break laws and make bad choices like everyone else in the world. 1. 2, pedophiles come in all shapes and sizes. And so what I mean by that is it doesn't matter what their age is. It doesn't matter what their race is. It doesn't matter what your alleged mental capacity is, whether you're stupid, dumb, a genius, whether you're a little bit of slow. You know the basic right or wrong. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so, point blank period. Predators come in all shapes and sizes. This young lady does not have arms and she does not have legs, but she is still able to control the minds of children, supplying them, getting them interested in, offering them drugs and alcohol. And I mean, it said vapes, so we don't know whether they talking about weed vapes or tobacco vapes. I mean, it's in Kentucky, so I would guess they talk about tobacco vapes, but come on. If I could go get your kid alcohol, there's no telling whether she was giving them drugs too. There's no telling what she gave them. Prescription pills, there's no telling. And so you better watch out for your kids. And I done went down that rabbit hole with y'all before. You better go check a couple episodes back. You already know. This has been a light mother flipping episode. I ain't get into nothing too crazy, but you already know what it is, black people, brown people. And that's one of the most disheartening things, is that to be able to share this story with y'all and to see this young lady is brown, it is very upsetting. It's very upsetting. I didn't even want to bring this up, but it's very important because I see a lot of kids, even in 2020, and especially with this COVID shit going on, they still taking their kids to the park. And ain't watching their kids, ain't paying attention to their kids. It's a bunch of adults all over the field. What are you talking about? Kids are still being snatched up.
Yep.
What is it called? The child slavery movement. The sex trafficking shit that's going on. Come on, y'all playing. COVID ain't slow nothing down. What? They still out here making moves, and you not even paying no attention to it. Because you too busy, concerned, and stuck on yourself. So I wanted to get the negativity out the way. And I just want to end this episode on something positive. I got like 4 positive stories for you.
The feel goods. I got some stories.
Yeah, man, the feel goods. Like we not even going down the rabbit hole right now, because we gotta get y'all ready for that pagan special that we gonna do. We gotta get y'all ready. We got the next 2 episodes is gonna be lit before we end out this year 2020 with y'all. We got the countdown episode, the wrap up episode. We gonna talk about everything, like the crazy shit, everything all year. We're gonna breeze by it real cool. I don't know if we're gonna be able to breeze by it. The last 2 episodes might be extended plays, but we'll see how it go, man. This year has been a crazy year. And so, like I said, let me get into this poem. And then I'm going to give y'all some feel-good shit. Alright? Thanks for banging with me. You already know, this the Unknown Unknowns podcast. Shady Cartier coming at you. You know I wrote this very specifically for the podcast. It's very important that I hit y'all with some hot, fresh flames.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? And so, let's get into it. What do we see? In my eyes, I bleed. Hold, faith, press, pause, and then I breathe. Moving crazy through the world. Universities. No boundaries, no morals. Moving so diversely. Triumph over madness. Off the rails. I ask you, what do we need? Community. What should we fear? Fake subsidies. What do I crave? The future, please. 'Cause how could we live when you're killing me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I had to keep it short and sweet. Like it's a whole lot going on. There's a range of emotions. Like again, December 2020, a lot of people ain't make it.
No.
A lot of people ain't make it, especially in the black and brown community. So I always ask a question on the IG, man. Go ahead and hit us on the IG and let us know how you feel about 2020. How is your mental health? Are you making it through? Like, this shit got you fucked up? Like, did you have any epiphanies in 2020? You should have had an epiphany in 2020. You should have about something.
No one is going to help you. You got to do it yourself. That's what you got to figure out.
We in the trenches. You ain't got to do it yourself. You ain't never alone. Shout out to the Big J.
I'm specifically talking about the government.
Yeah, exactly. Big Brother gives no fucks.
Not even about their own.
Big Brother said your rent is between. They said the median rent in the United States is $1,500 to $3,000. The median range of rent. They gave us $1,200 stimulus package.
Yep.
Big Brother,
one time.
And it's been what 8-9 months of this shit.
Big Brother, your mind one time.
Don't give no fucks. So now we gonna end it out with the feel good. This coming straight from goodblacknews.org. I've been looking for some really pro-black websites. I know they got the WeSellBlack.com. Go in and check them out. I will encourage you to research the sellers on there. Not all of the sellers and the creators of the project, of the products on that website are all black. But hand-in-hand exchanges. I might buy 1,000 from China. Boom, relabel them or resell them. Let the black man eat. So my positive good black news for you.
Fumble.
Super fumble, y'all. My bad. Miriam, I can't even say her last name. Tsegaye, 17 years old, becomes the first Canadian to win $450,000 international science competition. Shout out to the Browns, baby. It don't matter what country you in. I'm proud of you. You're young, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're intelligent, you love science. And let's keep it real. The challenge was to put together a 3-minute video explaining quantum tunneling. I encourage y'all to check out YouTube and go look up the bright young lady and let her explain quantum tunneling to you. She makes it extremely simplistic by comparing it to rolling dice and playing video games.
Hey.
There was about 5,600 students that sent in entries, and she won. So much love, girl. You deserve it, and many blessings. And never forget, our brains are beautiful and complex and amazing. And don't ever let nobody tell you that you can't do it. Shout out to, we're going to touch on music a little bit. We love music. You already know, black people, brown people. When we hear that right song, we get our groove on. And so we want to say thank you for the groove, George Clinton. Apparently COVID ain't been holding them back. George Clinton is still recording music in 2020. So congratulations to that. And I just want to give a shout out to the fact that they were indoctrinated into the Hall of Rock and Roll and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997 with the 15 members of Parliament Funkadelic. So, man, much love, bro. Much love. You deserve all the respect that you're getting. Handle your business. Keep representing good music, soul, and love. I don't know. I don't want to say like positive, negative mark. But just on the political stance, but I don't even know what to call this. On the activism. I don't know. Whatever. Very important stuff. Okay? Very important stuff.
Yeah.
Speak up, know what's right from wrong, and fight for your right to make a change in your community. Campaign Zero activists organizes and launches the national campaign to ban no-knock police raids. So I want to give a shout out. To everybody involved in putting that together. I'm going to read you some information. Police raids disproportionately impact black communities, according to research conducted by ACLU. No-knock warrants allow officers to legally force their way into private residences without announcing themselves or their purpose. These raids, often carried out for low-level drug offenses, are executed at night by forcible entry, which commonly involves breaking through doors with battering rams, military-grade weapons, and flashbang explosives. Campaign Zero said in its statement, they pointing out the facts. Such practices endanger the community and can severely traumatize children in the process. And in the case of Breonna Taylor, people might die. So let's just keep this in a conversation. If you live in a state where this is something that's being voted on, please pay attention. This is very important. And then also, Campaign Zero said, simply banning no-knock warrants isn't going to make us safer and hold police accountable.
Nope.
In practice, knock and announce warrants can be executed like no-knock warrants. So we must couple banning no-knock warrants with heavy restrictions on the issuance and execution of all search warrants. So the reason why I let this be the last, one of the last topics that I discussed, because I do find that this is positive. Black people, brown people, whenever we get together and we decide that we deserve respect, that we deserve to be defended, that we deserve equal rights, we become dangerous, first of all. That's why they out to get us. But it gives us an opportunity to level the playing field. And more than anything, whether we lose the battle, we're showing that our children, our future, we're showing them that we are not afraid to stand up for what we believe in. And what better lesson do you want to teach your child? If we have the right to protest, let's use it in America.
Mm-hmm.
And my last story, matter of fact, no, the last one on the Good Black News website, I want to say rest in peace to Rayford Johnson, 86-year-old gold medalist in the 1960 Olympic decathlon. I didn't even know what a decathlon is, and so I had to look it up and make sure that y'all are also on point. There are 10 events in the decathlon: a 100-meter run, a long jump, a shot put, a high jump, 400 meters on the first day, 110-meter hurdles, discus, pole vault, javelin, and a 1,500-meter dash on the second day. And so that's a whole lot. If you take care of your body, you're training, you're fit, you know, if that's what's important to you, go for the goal. Go get you a medal, because apparently you can do that. And so I ain't hating, I ain't mad. Big rest in peace. I'm really proud to know that we have an Olympic gold medalist in our culture. Mm-hmm. No matter what period of time or what it is and what they're doing. You know, I respect that. At the end of the day, you're making it so little black kids can look up and say, okay, that's what's up.
I'm about to be the next Michael Phelps, except they'll have a black name. Yeah.
Michael Johnson. Oh, all right. So the last story that I wanted to touch on is the most important shout out, not most important, but I'm very proud. My last and final shout out is to Master P.
Oh yeah.
Who is replacing the racist ass Aunt Jemima and the racist ass Uncle Benz with his daggone self, okay? So shout out to Master P for continually pouring knowledge, insight, wealth, and wisdom into the black community. You already know we need it, and that's something we're definitely going to celebrate on the Unknown Unknowns podcast. And so shout out to Master P for his new line of food. What is it? Uncle P's Louisiana seasoned rice, beans, grits, pancake mix, syrup, and oatmeal. Thank you so much for being black and positive and wanting to make a difference in our community. And not only are you just putting coins in your pocket, but you helping us keep the coins out the white man pocket, or at least keep it circulating in the black community, because you know once we get a check, the black coin only stays circulated in the black community for 6 hours. So then it go right back to being the white man coin. Listen, we reached the end. It has been a wonderful hour. Thank you so much. I didn't think we'd make it this long.
This is great.
I knew you wouldn't. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you really bang with us, if you really like it, just share. Like, you know, we got the Patreon actually set up. I didn't tell Mobius.
Oh.
I don't think I did. I did set up a Patreon and everything, but I'm not going to put that on blast. At the end of the day, I just want to know, like, that we're making some type of positive difference in the community. Of course, we can definitely use the money through this COVID situation, but what's most important is that you just share with people. Just get the message out. Like, if you like what you're hearing, just help spread us throughout the world. Like, what else could we really ask for?
Cookies.
And then yes, he want cookies and obviously like new mics and the sound production. But you know, that might be for another season. So
Season 2, boys.
yeah, buddy, you already know what it is. Thanks for chilling with the gang.
And
All black, all brown, everything. See you next time.
Do a barrel roll.